Welcome everybody. I am your host, Benjamin Paglotta Foley. I've been the founder of Gaiscioch, started 2001. Been loving every minute of this wild ride. It's been 19 years now, and we have had quite the adventure. Today I am going to lead you through some of the coolest things that we're doing, all the neat stuff. I really look forward to showing you some of the cool things that we're up to. And I think that we are pretty much turning the corner. We have for a while been kind of in a lull of sorts, and we're starting to see some different changes. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we got. And there you have it. What is Gaiscioch? Well, it is taken from an Irish legend of the Tuatha De Danann. The Gaiscioch were said to be the most honorable and loyal warriors to ever have fought for the Irish people. If you ever want to know the long story, please come to me. I'd love to share it with you. In 2001, we became a gaming community based on the legends and traditions taught to me by the legends of the Gaiscioch. Created to bring memorable adventures and regardless of skill and time commitment. This was a big thing for me. I witnessed too many people being pushed out because they couldn't commit enough time to meet the guild's requirements, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to create a guild just for those people. So we did, and it was great. It was good. And we lasted a lot longer than they did. We practice kindness, compassion, fellowship, honor, respect, loyalty, benevolence, and integrity. These are all things that I think are very much missing in today's world, and I'm really glad that we still honor these. We stand against persecution and unjust treatment of others and welcome all with open arms. We publish Gaiscioch magazine for all gamers and developers to enjoy and host live streams daily. We are committed towards bringing gamers sneak peeks, guides, and information about our favorite games. Charity involvement is at the heart of our community, and players are rewarded for participating in charity events. If you haven't noticed, this is all part of our For the Kids charity event that we host every fall. We happen to have a rare year where the Extra Life event and the Gaiscioch Community Summit fell on the same weekend, so we decided to throw a giant party and do it all at once. Good idea at the time. Probably never do it again. We have a unique approach. Membership is based off Gaiscioch.com, not a in-game guild. Our website is a home base of operations from which all activities in-game stem from. We are not an in-game guild. We are a community that plays games together. This is a hard kind of truth that is hard to drive into the new members. Most people join an in-game guild and they think that's where it stops. This goes well beyond that. Game membership is not required. We are happy to have you on board. Your happiness is more important than the tag above your head. So, you know, this is another concept that's really foreign to people. You don't actually have to be in our in-game guild to be a part of our community. We welcome everybody with open arms. Community progression is permanent and carries across all games and everything that we do. Players can go AFK for long periods of time and resume right where they left off. There's no need to ever reapply for a chapter. You just simply log in, click off what you want to play, and boom, you're in. We host open events available to all, regardless of guild affiliation, and seek to better the server and game communities we are part of. After all, the most epic loot in life is a healthy smile and a fond memory. Dennis will agree. So what have we done? Well, it all began in Dark Age of Camelot. We were on the Nimue Hibernia, and spent quite a few times there. We did a lot of dragon raids. That was one of our big claim to fame, is we were the first to kill the Jelly Green Dragon before they nerfed him. And took 200 people throwing their bodies at him endlessly, and it was a lot of fun, and it was frustrating, but we got through it. It was good. We also led public RVR groups. We were active in the roleplay community, and we won, surprise, surprise, Best Roleplay Guild Site by Mythic Entertainment. We retired it in 2006 when life got a little messy. We launched Warhammer Online 2008 on the Phoenix Throne server. It eventually got merged into Badlands, and we remained in the Order faction. That's where we grew to over 750 players. We led massive events, like really massive events, like 700 people on a battlefield kind of events. It was pretty awesome. And then eventually we joined Rift in 2011 after a long period of being alpha testers, and developed quite a relationship with the team over at Tryon, and we pulled in over 2,500 players to Rift. That was a massive explosion, and I will show you guys a little later what that looks like. That was our first major PvE focused game. We had never really done PvE before to that level, and kind of introduced us to a whole new kind of demographic, I would say. After that, Guild Wars 2, 2012. That was largely driven by Roger Oldor Rawl, who basically discovered the game and kept pushing it towards us. We eventually got into alpha testing for that. Sadly, Roger never made it to be able to be an alpha tester. We launched it in his honor in 2012 and got a server named Sanctum of Rawl to remember his name. 2014, we joined Elder Scrolls Online. Pretty much have been rocking that ever since. It's pretty much one of our consistents right now. It's actually on the rise population-wise. Content is getting better and better. A lot of good things happening there. In 2019, we launched on Old Blanchy with Warhammer, or the World of Warcraft Classic, in memory of Sandy, known as Starkly, who was our oldest member in our community. She had been with us since Dark Age of Camelot, and since Dark Age of Camelot, she was trying to convince me to open a WoW chapter. And I kept saying no, 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 when World of Warcraft Classic came around, and she was very much indebted in her battle against Stage 4 cancer. I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do the thing that she's been wanting me to do. So we launched on World of Warcraft Classic. I have no regrets there. It was a good time, and I'm glad that she was able to be a part of that before she passed on. In 2019, we decided to try out Lord of the Rings Online. That got really big. We're over on the Landroval server, and still have a small community over there, a very tight-knit group. Conqueror's Blade launched in 2019. That's the first Eastern game that ever really took off for us. We are House Tuatha. Our alliance is Hibernia. We control it. Server Assyrian, which is the North American server, and we're currently in Liangyu. We have over 100 players currently rotating on our roster based on who's playing right now. The AFK timeout is about a week. And we are one of the official content creators of Conqueror's Blade, which means that anytime there's drops, you can tune into our channel and get some drops. Coming in 2021, we are going to have a little adventure in New World. There's a lot of people really interested in this. We have decided to go Marauders faction so that we can have green as our background color, not the bright pink purple, which was kind of distracting. We will be on their US East region. World would be Haven unless they rename the regions. Unfortunately, only 50 players can be on the house or the company roster, so we will be rotating people just like we do in Conqueror's Blade based on who's currently playing and who's offline the longest. Beyond the chapters, we have social meetups when it's not coronavirus land. Corona kind of sidelined all of those things, but we usually would meet up at conferences and meet up at local eateries and places for real world meetups. We have a magazine that we launched in 2014, has over 2.1 million reads. That's quite a bit for a hobby. Very proud of you guys for putting that all together and continuing to write even through these hard times. We have over 600 articles written. A lot of those are pretty well circulated across Reddit and other places, and continue to draw traffic for us even still. It also connects our public events live streams to one public system known as our Gaiscioch Passport, which you use for even the For the Kids charity event. That's the same system. And then we also have media credentials, which give us backstage access to all kinds of good things, from gaining access to interviews and reviews, game keys so that we can take an early look at things, all that good stuff. Our live stream, we've been live streaming for 11 years, somewhere around there. We literally live stream like nobody's watching. We don't care if we're the top streamer in the world or not. We do it because we want to provide a window inside of our community so you can see what we're up to. So we're going to continue streaming. Whether or not people watch it, we don't care. We're going to keep streaming it. And we hope that you enjoy our streams. And if you do, please let us know. If you don't, or if you think we could change something up, let us know. Happy to work towards a better future on that front. We do stream 7 days a week. We do playthroughs, first looks, are all stored on YouTube. You can find our YouTube by going to gsch.info/YouTube. I know I didn't really link that very well. Well, it's down there at the bottom. Well, stupid bar showing up. Aside from that, our charity, we've raised over $45,000 for the Children's Miracle Network over our 10 years now of support. This is our 10th year. We have donated over 600 stuffed animals to displaced children's charities. We've run that a few times. And we use Kohl's to help deliver those prizes. And basically they have a charity where you buy stuffed animals and they donate to charity. And then we send those stuffed animals that you bought to another charity, so that we basically double up on your charity giveaways. And then we also support breast cancer awareness every October by going pink. We go blue every March for National Colon Cancer Awareness Month. We launched our athletics in 2001, played a bunch of flag football in San Jose, California, then Eugene, Oregon, and now Portland, Oregon. We have won our 10th league championship just this year. We actually got back-to-back championship victories, and we won one regional tournament. And I might add, that's the only regional tournament we've ever played in. So that was kind of cool. Currently fielding 2 flag football teams out of Portland, Oregon. So our year in review. COVID-19. You couldn't have this conference without mentioning this. This is a very strange effect that it had with our community. It actually flipped our curve, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Financial burdens required me to cancel all subscriptions and cut associated costs with the community. I had to trim the fat as much as I could as I was working off a portion of my salary. So I had to really tighten the belt down. Several members have contracted COVID-19. So far, none of them have been fatal that I'm aware of. Everyone that I know that's had it has recovered. We saw an influx of new and returning players, many of which we had not seen in several years. We were forced to cancel our 19th birthday party in Seattle. Our stable conferences went virtual this year: E3, Gamescom, and PAX. Several of our current and future chapters experienced delays. And our flag football team was placed on a 6.5-month hiatus. We're finally back on the field. Had to play with masks. It's really weird. And you gotta use a hand sanitizer every half. It's weird. But, you know, it's what you gotta do to survive, right? We lost 4 loved ones this year. My grandfather, Les Foley, the guy that inspired me, along with Tina Foley, my grandmother, to create Gaiscioch as a place where we can enforce the positive parts of life, where people help one another rather than push each other down. Jo Rayner Oliver, you might know her from Rift. She played with me quite extensively, farming bounty tokens to give away during the Talara saga. Gun Gear, he was a good friend of, I'm just drawing a blank on the name just now. It's all good until that point. But yeah, he played ESO. He also did Rift. Not sure he ever touched Guild Wars 2 to any extent, but he's been around the community for years and years and years, like since Rift days. And then we lost Wild Frost Witch most recently. On the improvement side, I did sync up the Twitch subscriber and patrons to be able to receive contribution rewards automatically now. And we have the ability to link your Discord and Twitch accounts directly to our website. Discord promotion system allows us to sync your family rank with Discord. It basically will allow me to get your Discord ID number, because Discord's promotion system, the API works off of an ID number, not the name. So the name doesn't help me. I can't do a script to promote you with a name. It has to be in a number. And the only way to do that is pretty much right-click on everybody and copy their ID individually, which was pretty rough. So this allowed, by syncing it all, it allows me to get that stored in our database and then export a promote script to basically sync up everything. Member profiles received a little update. If you haven't seen your profile, go on over there. Your signature background now acts as a header as well. So you got whatever picture you chose as your header on your profile. Adventure pages can now be customized to make unique rosters. If you're wondering what that means, take a look at the Conqueror's Blade section. I wanted to be able to customize them if needed, and I'm going to also customize the Twitch one so you can see a leaderboard. I think that would be a lot of fun. Guild Wars 2. We began the year with a lot of uncertainty early on, but things have looked a lot brighter since. If you don't remember last year, about November timeframe, they started laying off a bunch of employees. Other employees started jumping ship. It was really kind of scary for us in the Guild Wars 2 land. Fortunately, this year they've announced that they got the Cantha expansion coming, and they've got a whole new chapters system coming. So we got a lot of new content coming. We've managed to rough it out through COVID-19 pretty well. Strike missions and fractals took a big leap this year. We have a lot of activity claimed in those areas that we didn't have prior. So we've seen a lot more people jumping into that arena. Map clearing events are still continuing to grow interest. We see a lot of popularity there. The GSEH Guild Hall moved to the Gilded Hollow to kind of put everything closer. Now, if you haven't noticed, these statues that you see on my right-hand side, each of those says something. You should go check them out sometime. Even the golems that are outside the building say stuff. So walk up to them and press F. We also have our full memorial set up there in the main section. You can read all the nameplates if you like. And then the Sanctum of Royal Community Guild Hall was moved to Winslow Haven to replace where we came from.
An unholy alliance casts its shadow across Skyrim. And worse still, I fear there is something more sinister. Something more foul, hiding beneath the surface. With every lost soul, our enemy grows stronger. And our need to overcome this evil grows more urgent. We must unite. Gather our allies. And together, we will vanquish this dark heart of Skyrim.
Alright, there's our ESO trailer. Put it together last year, actually. So just so you guys know, I do the community trailer one year, and then I do the individual chapter trailers a year following, so that we rotate the series a little bit. So this year in Elder Scrolls Online, we had a whole year of slaying vampires and werewolves, and yeah, it's been a good time. This year's content was really good. There was some really iconic scenery. Highly recommend picking up the Greymoor and giving it all a whirl. It's pretty impressive. Really good DLCs. We managed to deck out our entire house with pretty much all the crafting stations and amenities. The crew over there has done a great job pulling together and basically getting everything. So if you're a crafter, it's like Crafter's Paradise. Just go on over to Sir Henry Vale's house, and you will see nothing but wall-to-wall crafting stuff and all the things that we need. It's pretty impressive. That was a lot of work that we put in to get that. Weekly trials have been running strong. Beliar has been running them like a champ. I even sat in one during the Extra Life event, and he made it look really easy. Like, really easy. So, there's daily events, pretty much with Sir Henry, Verve, and Beliar. A few others are running events every single day. So if you want to do something, it is high time to jump in there and go do something with them. It's very easy to get plugged in and go. So World of Warcraft, we are going to be doing some reorganizing, I guess, of World of Warcraft. Its numbers have dwindled pretty low, but more so we've got a lot more interest in people wanting to play retail with the new expansion coming out. But the only way that we can make this work is by dropping the chapter down to a adventure status, and then work towards building the trading post system, which will basically replace the marketplace for World of Warcraft. The problem that we're having is if somebody was to order something on Classic, and somebody from retail decided to claim it because they're both with the WoW tag, there would be no way to get that item from retail version to classic version, and it would just be a giant confusing mess on everyone's part. And some of the items in classic aren't in retail. It'd just be jacked. I mean, all around. So if we drop them both to adventures, we can basically support both sides of the fence. And we do have a Gaiscioch set up on retail on Kirin Tor. We used to have a GSCH there, but we went ahead and created a Gaiscioch so that the name's the same and we can use the same mod for both sides of the fence to export the roster. I am working completely blind in WoW. I still do not have a subscription due to COVID taking away my financing, but you know, eventually I plan on hopping back in there and trying to flesh out some of the mods and get everything running smoothly. But for now, Izzy's helping run the retail side. I still have the same crew that we've had over on the classic side. They're doing a great job keeping the community tight, and it's small, but it's very close from what I've seen. So if you're interested in playing either side of that fence, feel free to connect. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Conqueror's Blade. This has become one of my personal favorites that has come around recently. It first was brought to my attention by the developers over at Booming Games after I was streaming Tiger Knight Empire War for a little while. They approached me and said, hey, come check out our game. And I went over there and instantly putting my hands on it, I realized that it was finally a MMO version of that same type of atmosphere. So if you like the Mount and Blade series or Chivalry or any of those, this is kind of same vein, except the cool thing is there's both PvE and PvP. For Season 1, we struggled early to find a place in the world. We eventually acquired Westweg in a thief trade with cats. Yeah, cats. We grew roots and started our little training house. So the first 3 seasons, we basically helped teach people the game and then sent them off to fight for other houses. We did focus on getting our fiefs up to a rank 6 and 7, and for the most part, people left us alone. Season 4 came around, and we had one certain house that decided to try to turn the world against us. And we fought for our life, constantly, every single week, all the way through Season 4. Eventually, at the end of Season 4, we did a little rope-a-dope, showed one thing and did another, ended up scoring 2 towns and a village, and ended the season with that. And then come Season 5, we decided we're going to go far east. So they took away the 2 north zones, and we settled down over in Liangyun, and took over a little fief called Guangdong, which is so far north and out of the way that you literally will empty your wagon of all food just trying to get there. So our plan is to defend this thing like it was the Alamo, and whatever comes for us, we're going to fight back. And yeah, we call it Eastweg now. And the nice thing is we've been stocking up on Great Bombards, and those are like hell cannons. I mean, they just one shot wipes out anything within 100 yards. It's amazing. And you know, people sell them. We buy them. It's fun. Things go disappear. But yeah, so Conqueror's Blade has been a lot of fun. If you're interested, you can check me out. I stream it all the time, pretty much nightly. So definitely tune in for that. It's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing. Sticking your full arm into somebody, it's fun. So our Gaiscioch adventures. These are the little things that we do. These are the little guys. Conqueror's Blade, Conan Exiles, Warhammer Vermintide, World of Warcraft Classic, and now Retail, Lord of the Rings Online, Blessed Unleashed, Final Fantasy 14, Guild Wars 2, or Guild Wars 1 rather, Dauntless, Genshin Impact, Dungeons & Dragons, Frozen Flame, which you guys were introduced to during this series. We have Deep Rock Galactic, which anytime you want to play, hit up Kitty. She will drag you in there. Kratos is also another player that likes playing it. Gloria Victis, vastly revamped from the old version that was stripping away all the PvE. There is now a ton of PvE in Gloria Victis. It's amazing. It was a lot of fun. Path of Exile, we have a bunch of people playing Path of Exile. We do have a guild there. Destiny 2, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. We have guilds in both of those places. Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem. If you like story-based action RPGs, that is primo. Coming soon, we have Crimson Desert, Crowfall, Camelot Unchained someday before I'm 90. Ashes of Creation. Probably next year we'll start seeing some actual playtest time as a community. I'm hoping that by the end of the year we'll be able to have a Gaiscioch formed and test out some guild system. New World, that's going to be early next year. We're going to be having a New World expedition going on. Feel free to join the company. Elion is supposed to go into beta late this year in the East and then come here next year. So we should see Elion coming soon. Astaria is another little game that we've been watching for a while. It's kind of indie, so we're not sure how well it's going to do, but we're definitely keeping an eye on it. Diablo 4 is going to be a big deal when it comes out. I know a lot of you guys are going to play, and there's supposed to be guild systems. So that'll be interesting to see. We will definitely get a clan going there. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be playing that. Defend the Night, you haven't heard it, look it up. It's another little indie title that's coming up. Lost Ark just signed with Amazon Game Studios to bring it to the West. So that will be interesting to see how that comes out. Fractured, that's another little indie gem that's been developed. If you liked Wild Terra or any of those type of survival games, you'd probably like that a lot. And then Legion, the Eternal War, is the one that Bree herself is working on. So yeah, we have some community members working on various games here. Some of the Camelot Unchained team is actually part of us. We have a Crowfall developer that's part of us. It's definitely a lot of fun. So if you can dream it, you can play it, you can claim it. Just lead an adventure, and it can be your little adventure that you lead with your friends and claim participation with. Our magazine, 2.2 million article reads, celebrating 6 years of publishing, 20 issues have shipped, 756,000 unique readers. We do need help. If you like writing, if you do like free games, if you do like talking to developers, or if you wanted to earn lore points because you don't know what the hell those are, feel free to contact me. I will be happy to set you up. We could really use some writers. If we want to continue running a magazine, it can't just be me and Gma. We need some help. Gaiscioch Flag Football. We have 2 competitive flag football teams in Portland, Oregon, forced to take a 6-month break due to COVID. We do have jerseys available. If you like any of those jerseys you see at the bottom, you can get those at the GSCH Armory. We have won 2 consecutive league championships. Not only have we won them, but we have won them against ourselves. We have placed first and second in the league 2 consecutive seasons running, which was kind of interesting. And never before did I ever think that I'd have to play myself for the championship, but it happened twice in a row, so that's fun. So let's take a look at Gaiscioch by the number. So if you look at this is the interesting part. So our chart usually would go high, low, high. And this year it like flipped. So usually during the winter months would actually be somewhat lower. It would peak up in January, February, March while the kids are at school, and then it would dip down to nothing over the summer up through September. And then we'd see a rise again through November, and about the time that summer break or the winter break hits, it started dipping down again. And this year with COVID-19, the kids had to stay home, so everyone was indoors for summertime. So nobody was traveling, so we saw this huge peak of people coming back and playing, which is kind of neat. It was definitely different from every other year we've ever been. So that was a kind of a neat twist. COVID actually helped bring more activity to our world. New membership-wise, this is what I was talking about earlier. So Warhammer Online, we're like 224 people a year came in. Then we started doing the alpha for Rift, so that started in 2010. When we were first doing alpha testing, we found a lot of members going through there. We rose up to 621 new members. By the time that Rift launched, we had 1,497 new members that year. The very next year when Guild Wars 2 launched, on top of Rift already booming, we had 1,837 new members. It's just insane. I mean, literally, I felt like the wheels were falling off the truck when this was all going down. And then we had ESO hit, another 1,229. But pretty much after ESO hit, things just kind of dwindled, and we had like 463. It was really slow moving from then on out. Guild Wars 2 was already 3 years in. ESO's initial launch was not that great, and a lot of people were driven away. But things have started to recover, and now in 2018 we saw pretty much our low at 267, 308 last year with the launch of World of Warcraft Classic and Conqueror's Blade. This year 316, a little over where we were. I think next year we're probably going to see something more like this with the 612. Probably at least over 400 with New World hitting. We're going to see a little surge with that. With Ashes of Creation Beta hitting, we'll probably see a little surge towards the end of the year. I don't think it's going to be quite this level of crazy, but I kind of don't want to explore this level of crazy ever again, if you ask me. That was something that was way too wild and a little nutty. Yeah, we had a lot of people that we had to invent new ways to help them find the door. So active game population, this is pretty much what we're seeing. Guild Wars 2 is pretty much right where it was last year. Elder Scrolls Online is actually kind of bounced up a little bit, but it's been consistently going up with these new chapter packs. WoW has basically, since it launched, kind of dwindled down. I think the reminiscence and the oh, I loved WoW Classic so much, when you actually play it, it's kind of like watching Thundercats and realizing that's not as great as you remember it as a kid. But yeah, so I don't know. We had a huge rush, and then it just thinned right out. The other thing was we did not hit endgame rating soon enough, and a lot of our endgame raiders ended up leaving early on because they wanted to raid. We weren't ready for it yet. So that was a big driving factor with why WoW kind of didn't go the distance for us. Adventures are continuously kind of holding their own. As new adventures pop up, they spike and then they dwindle down as people stop playing. Now this was interesting. Twitch has drastically improved since I started streaming Conqueror's Blade. I'm getting a lot of people from Conqueror's Blade following our channel. We've had several people from the Conqueror's Blade community host our channel, which draws us a bunch of more people dropping subs and followers and everything. So in the last year, we've actually seen quite a decent rise, almost about 100 people. I mean, over the past, if you look at it, November 2019 was 1,025. To get to 1,016, it took pretty much over a year. And yeah, it was a long haul, and we did that in 3 months. So it's been going up pretty consistently lately, and I think it's starting to grow rather nicely. I'm hoping that we can get this up to the 2K range by next year. I'm hoping. We're gonna see. This stream definitely helped. We got quite a few followers during this this whole week-long marathon that I'll never do again, I swear. But when it comes for the kids, I would do whatever it takes to help those kids. Just saying. Content preference. Now this is wild. 91% is PvE focus. 9% is PvP. Out of all the things that we've done, 9% of the activity of the year was PvP. Just 9%. If you did this in Warhammer, the opposite would have been true. Like, we were less than 10% PvE with Warhammer. Everything was PvP. So our community has literally flipped. Maybe it's because, people like me are 20 years older, and our reflexes are 20 years older. I don't know. But we seem to fancy the PvE a lot more than we used to. Which is exciting. A lot of these games coming up on the horizon are PvE focused, and this gives us a chance to do those things. Age demographic. So you'll notice our under 21 is this tiny little sliver that doesn't even deserve a number. Yep, that's true. 13.1% is 21 to 30. 26.8% is 30 to 40. 27.2% is 40 to 50. That 19.1% outweighs our 21 to 30 is 50 to 60. And then over 60 is 10.7%. As you can tell, our community is not like your Fortnite community. We are not all under 20. Not by a long shot. I think most of us were probably in high school or college when the developers of Fortnite were born. So, it's good. It's fun. Gender demographics, we have the undeclared sliver, 21% female, 76% male. Typically we've had a bigger chunk of female to male than most communities out there. We try to keep a friendly community that is safe for all people, and we do our best to try to never allow things like toxic masculinity to take foothold here. I've even had people question things I've said, and I've owned up to it, and I'm going to continue owning up to it because I'm not perfect, and if I ever do anything wrong, I want to know about it so that I can fix it. Whether it's a website or a behavior or whatever have you, because I'm not the best person that ever was, but I want to become the best person I can be, so teach me. So location demographics, you'll notice a lot of us are from the United States. Yep, we got some Canadians, Australians. Brazil is actually popped up on the board recently, so that's kind of fun. United Kingdom and Netherlands are also on the board. Other has a 4.4 sliver. We actually have 33 countries with our active membership right now. Those are people that have played in the last 30 days. Playtime demographics. You can see the big slice of the pile is a 6 to 9 Pacific time slice. Just under that is a 25.9%, which is a 3 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is pretty much your East Coast prime time. We do have a nice little slice there with a 12 to 3 a.m. Ouch. Yep. we have quite a few European days and European players, and the Australian players looping that 7.7% there. Those actually, that I believe is the mustard's over here. So this is our early morning European crew coming in this range. East Coasters, West Coasters, Australians into the loop of the Europeans. So coming next year, what do we got? What do we got, guys? First up, our 2020 Eldership Council. The head of the house, me. It's always been me. It'll always be me till I go away, and then you guys can figure it out. Guild Wars 2, we got Gma Fog, Old Goat, Jillabod, Kitty, and Micah. Elder Scrolls, Sir Henry Vale, Verve, Akiran, and Beliar. Great team over in Elder Scrolls, great team in GW2. They all helped me keep the wheels going. Advisory board, all the crew that was in the WoW chapter is now part of the advisory board, and they will continue keeping me on the up and up and helping me organize things. What are you panicking about, Kitty? It'll be fine. We got him.
Got him.
Oh crap!
Oh God! Stop shooting planes into my face, Fog! Nailed him.
Oh my god. Really? You can deploy your wings here, people.
Did you hit him with a shovel?
Hey, he's moving.
Oh my god! Holy crap!
That came out of nowhere.
What the hell?
Oh man. Oh god, this is the best stream ever.
Alright, this is something new. We are going to be launching a clip of the month contest. Now, when you're watching Twitch, if you mouse over the Twitch screen, you'll see a little clip button down there in the bottom right corner. It looks like a little clipboard, like a movie set clipboard. You click on that, it'll basically take the prior 30 seconds, so everything that happened 30 seconds before that, and turn it into a clip. You can name the clip, give it a description, and then click save. And what we'll do is we're going to be looking through these clips every month, picking out our favorites. We're going to pick 5 favorites every month and award them prizes. So the top tier prize is going to get a platinum prize from our loot vault. Second tier, gold prize. Third, silver tier. Fourth and fifth are going to get bronze tiers. Top 5 clips every month are going to get turned into a video that we publish on our YouTube channel. And I hope to see some of you guys clipping, because I think that we can really highlight the bright spots of our community by doing this. If you see something that's funny or awesome or whatever you feel, if you see something that's classic Gaiscioch, just clip it. You might be a winner. You might get a free game. You know, could be fun. Next year, charity events. we're going to run a Gaiscioch hashtag cure cancer. That's going to be kind of like our For the Kids event, but it's going to be a weekend event where I'm going to run it from May 14th to 16th. It's going to be a live stream just like this. You'll be able to log into a website just like this, and or like our For the Kids event, and you'll be able to take part in a charity event that's going to be benefiting Stand Up to Cancer. We decided that with as many of our members that have become ascended because of cancer, it's time that we rise up against it, and we're going to rise indeed. So we're going to do our best to raise money for cancer research and see if we can hopefully turn this curve and get rid of cancer once and for all. Wouldn't that be great? And then we're going to be doing our Gaiscioch for the Kids, October 15th through 17th. I'm not really going to care when Extra Life is going to hold it again. I'm never doing this again. So we're doing the Extra Life charity event October 15th through 17th. I don't care when Extra Life schedules it. That's when we're doing it, because I'm not going to do the community conference at the same time again. I just can't. I just can't. I darn near went insane this past month. So it will be our 11th year doing the For the Kids event. So I look forward to seeing you all there. We're going to highlight our favorite games of the year during that. The Cure Cancer stream, we're most likely going to highlight some of our current chapters, our adventures, and kind of do some more cooperative play than we did with the For the Kids event. So hopefully that'll be a lot more people attending. Yeah, I'm definitely not 20 anymore, let me tell you. 20 years later, woo-wee! I'm going to be a fun, crazy old man, that's all I got to say. So last year's top prospects, check out this list. We had Middle-earth Online pretty much being the world dominator. Ashes of Creation right there, number 2. Magic the Gathering, the MMO, was up on the list, but guess what? It's not an MMO at all. In fact, it's 3 players. 3 players! What the hell? So drop that from the list. It turned into a little cooperative game instead. So that'll be an adventure, no doubt, but it's definitely not going to be a chapter. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is still drawing some pretty good interest, but it has sunk down to number 5. Chronicles of Valeria, well, that's the dumpster fire of the year. If you haven't seen anything about that, just Google it. It's amazing how bad that went. Ascent Infinite Realm, that is now known as Elion, so you'll see it on our board for the top prospects of this year. Past Fate, Legion, The Eternal War, Defend the Night, and Riot's to-be-announced MMORPG have pretty much dropped off our list of popularity for some newer titles that we think will fit better. So this year we're looking at Guild Wars 3 as our number 3, ZeniMax's new MMO as our number 4. They announced that they were developing a new MMO. They have recruitment posts to get people to work on said MMO. Not sure what it is, but we're going to find out. It's supposed to be a totally new IP, so who knows. Might be interesting, might be a dumpster fire. We don't know. But I have faith. I have faith. Well, then they got bought out by Microsoft, so maybe I have a little less faith, but I still have faith. Elion, that's supposed to be coming 2021. Lost Ark with riding the coattails of New World will probably be coming out then. Crimson Desert, if you haven't looked at it, it's like Black Desert except with more story and more PvE. So it's not as PvP centric as Black Desert, but it's supposed to be the same world, basically a kind of adjacent storyline. The Lineage Origin, this is still getting reworked from Project TL to Lineage Eternal. It's supposed to compete with Lost Ark. It's supposed to be based in the Lineage universe. It keeps getting reworked, but now we hear that it's supposed to come 2021. So maybe it'll come. We can hope. And then Noah's Heart's a new one that jumped up on the radar. It's very fancy looking. Definitely check it out. Look it up. It's we don't have any remote clue as to when it can be released, but you know, we may or may not see it. Who knows? So, exciting news. Ashes of Creation finally has a timeline down. So December 18th through 21st, they're doing the Alpha 1 preview. There's an Alpha 1 preview pretest 2, February 19th through 22nd. Alpha 1 preview, the pretest 3 is the March 19th through 26th, which is pretty close to the launch time of New World. So that'll be going down. And then Alpha 1 itself starts April 6th through May 6th. And that's going to be a month long. So it got a lot of testing opportunity to come up. We should start seeing some things. Everything should be pretty much bound by NDA in the first period, I believe. And then this is no NDA. This is no NDA. So March 19th, we're going to start having some of our members talk about it, which is good. We'll be able to see what their perspectives are, be able to hear them, see what their worries are, and start campaigns to try to drive it so that this could be a suitable home for us. If not, well, then we move on to the next thing. But we're really hoping Ashes of Creation can fill that bill, because it pretty much has everything from raiding to dungeons to, you know, building your house and everything else. So it could be a lot of fun. So New World is launching in March 2021. It is perfect for a small adventure, but lacking for chapter status. The companies are limited to 50 players, which is very, very small. There's no way we can fit, you know, a 500-person community into a game like this. There's just no way. I think the server capacity is about 500 to 1,000. We will be forming on the Marauder faction because it's green. I wanted to do the Syndicate faction, but that's bright pink, and it looks terrible with all the logos that they have. So I figured we'll be green. They at least have some tree-looking logos, so that should be good. We will be running the revolving door roster system that we use in Guild Wars 2, ESO, Conqueror's Blade. It's the most effective roster system that we have to date. It basically rotates out the people that have been longest AFK for the players that are new and returning. So that way when you return to the game, you get an invite. When you go AFK, you get removed, and you never have to worry about losing any kind of rank or progress, because as soon as you come back, you get resynced up to where you were. So it's just like a revolving door. You go in, you go out. We will be allies with most of our friends in Conqueror's Blade. We've got quite a few relationships built over in Conqueror's Blade, and most of those guys are going over to New World when it comes out. So we'll be continuing those. And we're expected to see a new swing in recruits like we did with WoW and CB. So we'll probably see another little upswing when this comes around. For our chapters, the new chapters in Guild Wars 2 actually start, I believe, launch next week. Guild Wars 2 expansion, End of the Dragon, is coming soon with an eye on Kantha. Everyone wanted Kantha, now we're getting Kantha, and in fact, it looks really pretty. Guild Wars 3 development appears as a job listing on their official website, and one of the requirements was console development. So it's kind of interesting to see that Guild Wars 3 might be looking to go crossplay with consoles. So that'll be fascinating to see. Elder Scrolls Online, the next chapter should be announced soon. Usually they will wait until the new year, sometime around February, to announce the next chapter, January or February. So we should see something fairly soon. We'll probably see a teaser by the end of the year. And then they are developing a new MMO, so we'll be watching for that. Probably QuakeCon is when they'll announce what they're actually up to, is my guess. And then Microsoft acquired Zaz, and we don't really know what's going to happen. Well, I'm hoping for the best, but you never really know. So cross them fingers, and hopefully it brings improvements. So our year 20 goals are pretty much the same as they were last year. We're going to maintain an active population of 400 600 players. We're going to look to bring in 200 to 300 new members over the course of the year. We're going to grow on social media and get to help us gain greater access to a wider audience. This helps us with the whole recruiting bit. Make necessary upgrades to support the next big chapter alongside our already popular adventures and chapters. We're going to be reworking the marketplace quite a bit. I'm going to be changing it from requisitions to quests, so you'll be able to claim a quest, and you can basically post a quest for other players to take and earn artisan/contribution for turning in those quests. The trading post system is going to be kind of a reverse marketplace where you can list up items that you have and people can claim them, and it'll basically be a kind of a marketplace for the adventures as well. So like if it'll be open to everything. So if you're a chapter, if you're an adventure, everybody will have access to the trading post, and this will be a way for adventurers to earn contribution points. So we are looking for more ways to earn contribution to reduce the stopgap that many people have found when they're only playing in an adventure and not playing in a chapter. We do want people to experience the life of a chapter sooner or later, so there will be still requirements with earning fellowship and leadership points, but the contribution gains, we want to allow them to earn contribution. Alright, so that's what we're looking for on the live streams next year. Those are just a few of the games that we're going to be streaming. Next, I would like to open the floor up. I'm going to unmute myself and allow people to ask questions if they like. Alrighty, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them into Twitch chat, and I will try to answer them. There was a correction that the chapter system launches on the 17th. I think my weeks are all blending together, so I was wrong on that. That's for the Guild Wars 2 chapters. So does anybody have any questions? You're going to want to mute the stream if you're listening to Discord. If you're on Discord and you want to ask a question, feel free. Go ahead, Evolution Artist, aka Doc Restless. No, I do not. Right now I have so much going on anyways that I'm just using this time to make some improvements. But once, you know, work life simmers down and I'm not having to work way too much, I plan on jumping back in. Skill storm. I thought that was going to be a raising hand, and it turned into a LOL. Or it's maybe you're raising two hands now. Prestige points don't do anything, Barter. It's something that I've been trying to figure out how to access through the Twitch API, but I have yet to discover how to do it. And I eventually want to do something with it, have some kind of tie-in with contests or something, but I need to figure out how to access that from the Twitch API. So if you've done it before in PHP, feel free to connect with me and let me know. Clue me in. It's still a bit of a mystery to me. It just means that you're a warrior, that's all. It gives you a nice little shiny emblem. That's all you get. There's nothing else. It doesn't. It just, when you click it, it shows up in the message list. That's pretty much all it does. It was basically a little test to see if I can pull that out and read it. Once that happens, that's when the real fun begins. Any other questions? For once we are actually ahead of schedule, which is good news.
Well, not so much a question, but I do have my usual call out. For those who like World v World and strike missions, we're doing a pile of stuff every week in Guild Wars 2, so you should show up. We are up to 2 squads now on Saturdays for strike missions, not just one.
Nice. I dig it. Thank you, ScriptGo, for running those. Really appreciate it.
And for World v World, you can check the World v World channels. I try and post highlights. Expect us to run over literally everyone. We had about 25 last week. It was pretty good.
Awesome. Barter asks, will we be trying to group up for Ashes Beta? Well, unfortunately, the Ashes Alpha, which is this year, is a pretty high price point that I cannot afford with a cut salary. So I won't be there. I'm hoping some people can take initiative and try to pull together and get the Gaiscioch crew together. But we will be operating under NDA for the first 2 tests, so we won't be able to talk about anything that you see there. And I can't have anyone talking about that stuff on our Discord or anywhere else. So until we actually hit the beta phase, where I should be included, I don't think that we're going to officially, in any capacity, go there. Back in the old days, developers used to welcome communities into their tests and help them, move forward. Now you got to pay to be in their tests, which is kind of, in my opinion, lame. But, it's kind of the way of the world these days. So far, I don't think we're doing developer cookie, Zerg, because of COVID. I don't really want to mass mail COVID around the planet. That would probably not be good. And in all honesty, everyone's working from home, so developers don't really go to a location to work anymore. They work from home. So once the world resumes back to normal and people are allowed to eat cookies in public again, we will definitely send cookies. Yes, you are more than welcome to send your favorite developers thank you cards and messages of good fortune. I can tell you right now that if you want to make a developer's day, tell them that they did a good job on something. Point out something that they did good. Because all they hear these days is negativity. Everyone is so critical and so negative all the time. It's really good for them to actually hear that their work is appreciated. Alrighty, I'm not seeing any questions. Did I miss anything?
Doesn't look like it.
Now this stream is one of the streams in the For the Kids charity event, so you can log in to gsch.info/forthekids and claim that last raffle ticket. This is your last chance to get a raffle ticket. All you need to do is register for the site, use our Gaiscioch password system, which is the external system. It's not the Gaiscioch.com system. So when you're logging into Gaiscioch.com, you're using your username and password. When you're logging in the Gaiscioch password, you're using your email address and a different password that you created when you created your password account. It's completely different. One's public, one's private. Alright then, well then, I guess I get a head start on this raffling. So you guys better go in there and distribute them raffle tickets, right? Because you know what time it is. You guys are going to love this. Here you go.
Time for Gordo to say hello.
Oh yeah, it's raffle time.
Oh, that was so cool.
I had to. It was so cheese-tastic.
First prize for Gordo.
There you go. There you go. Oh man. I have too much fun with these presentations. So I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes. 4 minutes at 4:20. We're going to start raffling our prizes. We have 150 prizes to get through. I've got somewhere to be at 5:30, so we need to get through them quick. So we're going to blow right through them. You guys are going to go home with pockets full of games. It's going to be great. You're going to be like curing that boredom. This is going to be the perfect thing for you this fall. You're going to love all these games you're going to be playing.
Will I have a pocket full of candy?
Yep. It's like Halloween, but without the sugary taste in your mouth. Wait. Well,
Halloween, but someone healthier, I guess.
Yeah, no COVID with your candy. Just free games. Everyone loves it. Alright, I will be right back. Gonna refill my beverage so my voice doesn't go away. I've been fighting it all week long.